Thank you, sir.
Do you
And
have any other
next,
doubt?
yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, how understand this pseudocode give a consecutive consonant?
So go scroll up. We are using word data set. Okay. And what will count represent at the end of execution?
Consecutive consonant.
Okay. So here in line number 7, we are checking custom check X and custom check Y. So we have a procedure, custom check. Let's try to figure out what it is trying to do. So A is equal to 0, I is equal to 1, B is false, flag is false. While I less than equal to P dot letter count, if I letter of P dot word is a consonant, is so here what we are trying to do is first we are like in line number 17 we are checking whether the value of I is less than letter count of P or not. Okay. Then inside the while loop we are doing an evaluation and checking whether the ith letter of P dot word is consonant or not.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
And if it is a consonant and B is true, then we are incrementing A.
A. Or B
Okay.
should false, then does not increment in A.
Yeah. And if B is false, then we are not
In,
incrementing A. But in both the cases, we are saying B will be true. Line number 22, sorry, line number 22 will be evaluated even if B is true or false. Okay. So
okay,
at
sir.
the end of executing the if a statement in line number 18, we will get B is equal to true,
Consonant.
not consonant, true. And then we have the else condition in line number 24.
When a word is not consonant, then it is a false.
Yeah, so B will be false. And then we are incrementing I, and if A is equal to 1, flag is equal to true, and we are returning flag.
Okay, sir. Sir,
So,
it's yes,
yeah,
sir.
go ahead. You're asking something?
No, sir. No, sir.
Let me maybe work this out so that you will understand this problem better.
Sir,
You
it's
can stop,
answering.
yeah, you can stop sharing your screen, and I'm sharing my screen, and I'll walk through the solution. Okay. You can stop sharing your screen.
Okay, sir.
Just share my screen. Can you stop presenting your screen? What was the question number? This one, right? Question number 6, right? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
So let's try to solve this one. So here we are checking whether the word, whether the ith letter is consonant or not. So let's take an example and we will check whether we are getting the answer or not. Okay. So let's take maybe an example. So suppose we are taking the example of an apple. Okay. And here we have to check whether the ith letter is a consonant or not. So first we will go for this letter and we will check whether this is consonant or not. It is not. So if it is not a consonant, then this statement will not be evaluated. We will just go to this part and we will uh, do line number 25, which is this part. And B already has the value false, so we won't change anything there. B already has the value false. We are again doing false, so we will remain as false. Then we are incrementing I. So initially I was what? I was 1, right? In the first iteration because we initialized it here at 1. And when we reached line number 27, we are incrementing I to 2. The value of I will change to 2. Correct? Now we are checking if A is equal to 1 or not. If it is, then we will change the flag. But A was initialized as 0 and we didn't run this whole thing. Okay. So since we haven't run this part, so A will remain as 0, and if we evaluate this particular piece of pseudocode, it will say if false, and if false is there, then flag will not be evaluated as true. We won't assign true to flag, and we are returning flag.
Yes, sir.
Okay, while
So, sir, excuse me.
yeah, go ahead.
Uh, sir, I beg your pardon. Could you please explain the whole problem once more?
Okay, uh, let me clear everything and let's try to check this. So we are running this pseudocode on words data set, and here in line number 7 we have these two things. We need to evaluate these, and based on that, we will see what is happening while. Okay. So first, let's try to figure out what is happening in this procedure. Okay. Now we are initializing some variables. So one of the variables is a, and it has value 0. Okay. Then we have I is equal to 1. So these values will be used for the first iteration. Use this for the first iteration. Then we have P. P is false. So P is equal to false. And then we have flags. Okay. So this is for the first iteration. Once we start the iteration, and let's pick an example. We are using Apple. So that also. Okay. So in the first iteration, uh, the value of I is what? 1. And we are saying if ith letter of P dot word is a consonant. So ith letter of this word is apple. Sorry, A. And
A is not
for
A is not consonant.
A is not a consonant. So we will just skip this if block. Okay. We'll directly move to the else block. Right?
Yes, sir.
And in the else block, we are saying B is equal to false, which was already false. Right? So nothing changed. So after iteration 1, B was not changed. We just changed this thing, I.
I.
So
Then I
A
will be 2.
remains, I will be 2, and all the other things will remain same. A is
0
0
only.
and B is false only. Okay, so I got incremented and it is 2 now. Let's try to do iteration 2 now. So in iteration 2, I is 2. Okay, so let's write it here. I is 2 and all the other things are same. Now again we are checking the ith letter of P dot word is a consonant or not. So ith letter is what? P now, which is a
I said it
consonant.
is P. Yes, it's a consonant.
It's a consonant. So this evaluated to true. We'll move inside the if condition and we will run this part. If B is true, this condition is basically checking whether B is true or not. Okay. So B is what? B is false.
Yeah, B is false.
So this part won't be executed. We will just execute this one.
So why, sir?
Correct?
Why will not execute that part, but after the if we will execute?
This if is basically this is the if block, right?
Yeah.
After anything after this will execute because it's outside the if block.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So from here we are switching B to true. Okay. So B now has value true. Now we will execute the later parts. We executed the if block, so we will skip this part, right?
Yeah.
We generally don't. We never execute if and else. Right? So else part will be skipped. Then we have I is equal to I plus 1. So this will increment I again. Okay.
Then I will become 3.
Yeah. So here we have these values now. Let's in iteration 3 we have these values and
We have P.
I P again. P is what? P is again a consonant.
Yeah.
Now if we have a consonant, this part will give true and we will again execute this whole thing.
We,
Correct?
we will now execute the if part because the B is true.
B is true. So we will execute this part and A will switch to
1.
1. Okay. A will now have the value 1.
1.
And then we will do this. But since B was already true, this won't have any effect, right? So B was already true. So this is same. Then this else part will again not be executed. We are moving to this part. And here we are saying what? I is equal to I plus 1, which is
4.
3 plus 1, that is
4.
4. Okay. Now in the next iteration, we will do the same thing for L. So for L, what will happen?
So for L, again it will check.
It will
So
check
L is a
whether
consonant,
L is a
consonant,
consonant,
and again that B is true only.
B is true. So
Execute.
this part will will be executed, and since A was already 1 from the previous
A will
iteration,
remain 1.
A will remain 1, and we will increment I here, right? Here we will increment I.
Then it will be E,
Then it will do E.
which is not a consonant.
So it is not a consonant, and we won't execute anything inside the if block, and we will execute this part, else part. It will switch B to
False.
false, and then we will increment I. Okay, I will become what? 6.
I will not become 6 because I is less than or equal to P dot letter count.
This will first get like updated to 6, and then we will go again to the while condition and check this condition. Then the loop will break.
No,
Okay,
but it's less than or equal to letter count. So till 5 only I will be incremented.
this part will be checked on line number 17. Once this part is evaluated as true, then we will move inside this part. Okay, these parts will be checked only that condition is true. Only when that condition is true. And since we entered the while loop, this part will execute. I will change to this, and then this part will again be evaluated. And I is what? I is 6 now, and 6 is less than equal to
Is not
5.
less than equal to 5. 6 is
Yeah.
not less
So
than.
so this condition will say 6 less than equal to 5, which is false. So while loop is evaluated as false, and we will then just not execute anything inside the while loop. And then we will move to this part. Okay. So in this part, we will check whether A is equal to 1 or not. A is 1. Correct?
Yeah,
So flag will switch to true. We
true.
will return true.
Flag.
Okay.
Sir, I had just one question here.
Yeah.
Sir, here if suppose outside the if loop, if B is equal to 1, there B is equal to true, it would not be given. Nothing would be given. Then how would be the program?
You're talking about this one.
Yes, sir. I'm talking about that one.
Okay. So if B is equal to not true is given, then
Sir, I'm not saying B is equal to not true. I am saying nothing is given. Only B, then A is equal to. If B, A is equal to 1. I was saying about that.
yeah, this part is not given,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
So in that case, since B won't like here, if you see B is initialized as false, here again we are switching B to false. So B will never become true, right? So this part will never execute, and if this part never executes, this part will never be true, and flag will remain false.
So will the program run actually?
Yeah, program will run, but whatever
No,
answer you are currently getting for this particular question, that won't be the case.
sir. But it means, sir. But if B means which is given, I had learned that it means we can take it as true if B that one, even if B is equal to true is not given.
We are saying if B is equal to true, it means we are basically saying if B is equal to, we are this is the line number 19 is basically equivalent to checking this. Okay. So it means, sorry, not single equal, double equal. Okay. We are checking whether B is equal to true or not.
Sir, I was asking that in which case I can assume without that equal to that B will be true. If B and nothing is given, then B is equal to true.
Yeah.
Sir, in which cases will it be like that?
It
I'm
will
saying,
always be in that case, in that way only. So if we are saying if B is equal to, sorry, if B only, then that means if B is equal to true or not. We are evaluating that only. Here, if you see, when we are saying if A is equal to 1, then we need to specify all the things, right? A is equal to 1. But if we suppose A has the value, A has a boolean value that is true or false only. Okay, then we could have just said if A is equal, if A, that means if A is equal to true. So if the variable contains boolean value, then you can just use for true. You can just use this kind of format. If B or if A, if C, this kind of format you can use that.
yeah, so the B is equal to true was unnecessary because we can assume that if B means B is equal to true.
Yeah.
Sir, so why you are told that if B is equal to true is not needed here? So why you told that the program would be different if B is equal to true wouldn't be there?
So this is different, and in the if condition, we are checking whether this is the case or not. So that's double equal to. Okay, this is double equal to inside this,
Okay,
and
okay.
this is assignment,
Okay, we are
right?
checking whether B is equal. It means B is
Yeah,
true or not.
yeah.
Understood.
Okay. So
Understood, sir.
if you
Thank you.
yeah, if you see the pattern here, so when we had uh, repetition in consonant, we were evaluating A to 1. A was getting changed to 1, and when A was 1, the flag was switched to true, and we were returning flag. And when both the words have this kind of pattern, then we are incrementing count, and yeah, so that is the case. So at the end, what count will represent? So count will represent
Number
what?
of pairs of words with at least consecutive consonants.
Yeah, at least consecutive consonant. Okay, so at least one consecutive consonant. Okay, this one.
At
So
least two.
here we have only two. Yeah, two. P and
No,
P. Okay.
sir, at least two consecutive because if suppose two consonants means between the consonant any vowel is there,
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
it
yeah.
will be
This one, this
false.
one,
Okay.
this one. I missed that. Consecutive part, I missed. This one. Option 4.
Sir, in this pseudocode, if in between vowel is there, then again B will be set to false, no, and ultimately flag will be false.
Here, you're talking about the consonant in if part.
I was saying that in the we were checking apple, suppose. Now I am
Yeah.
telling about suppose cat, and if in between any vowel is there, then the program will stop. I'm saying that. So consecutive
So
consonants
the
are required.
program will not stop. The program will execute, but this condition, like from the procedure, you won't return a true. The
We
procedure will
cannot return
return
flag is equal to
false.
true.
Yeah.
That
Flag
only
will basically not be like this particular part, line number 29 to 31, the if condition, inside the if condition, whatever is there, it won't be evaluated.
yes, sir. Understood.
Okay. Any other doubt in this one? This particular question or any other question in graded assignment 4? If not, I have one previous year question. We can just go through them.
Yes, sir. You can.
Sir, I am having doubt in a graded assignment. One second, let me start. Graded assignment. Sir, number 10. I'm having doubt.
Graded assignment 4.
Yes, number 10.
Following pseudocode is executed using the words dataset, what will A represent at the end of execution? So, what is the issue here? What did you get first? What did you mark?
Sir, I couldn't be able to solve this question. I hadn't marked anything. No, I
Okay,
had means I had once again. I had marked that option.
which option?
Number of words after first adverb.
This one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's try to evaluate. So, we have some variables here. Okay, and then we are looping through all the words. And in line number 5, we are checking whether the part of speech is adverb or not. And P. What is P? We have initialized it here. Okay. So we are tracking a variable and it is basically a boolean variable and we will switch the switch the variable value based on some condition. So here we are switching the condition. Okay. So if part of speech is adverb and P was what? P was true, then we are saying P is equal to false and Q is equal to true. Okay. So we are switching both P and Q. If part of a speech is adverb and P is true. Okay. Now we have the else block and
Not Q means Q is false.
Q is false.
So in that case, Q will be true. So if Q is true, then A is equal to A plus 1.
Not false is basically true.
Yes.
If Q
Q
is
is equal to true.
not Q is equal to true, we want this whole condition to be true. So that whole condition means suppose we
No, no, Q is false. So not Q will be true.
yeah. So if Q is false, then this particular part will be true, and then we will go inside this part. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this particular case will execute. This particular part will execute only when Q is false. And if X dot word ends with a full stop, then we are
Again, it
basically switching. We are switching P and Q to their initial state. Okay, and so that is the whole thing. So what is happening here? What will A represent at the end of the execution? So A we are incrementing only here.
A is
So what will
incremented actually when when Q is equal to true actually.
when Q is equal to true? Are you sure?
Yes, sir. Because Q is false, then not Q will be true.
Yeah. So When Q is false, then we are executing this part, no?
Yes, when Q is false, we are executing this part.
Yeah. Now, since we don't want to enter this part, so the part of speech should be anything other than adverb to go into this part.
Yes,
Is
sir.
this true?
Yes, sir.
Then, if not Q, so let's see when we are getting
Q
Q
is
as true. So Q is true when P was true here, and then this is true. So part of a speech is adverb, and P is true. When P is true and part of a speech is adverb, then we
part
are
of.
switching.
Yes, sir.
Part of a speech is adverb, and P is true. Then we are switching Q is equal to
When
true.
P is
Okay.
false, then Q is true. Yes.
So we want something negative of this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. So it should be sentence other than adverb, and the
Not
word
sentence
should be.
word. The previous word should be anything other than adverb.
Other than adverb, and the word should also not end with full stop.
Word should also not end with full stop. Yeah. Then we are incrementing it. So number of adverbs we are
Before the
counting this
first
one.
adverb or full stop in every sentence.
Number of words before the first add, not or. If number of words before the first adverb. After the first adverbs.
Option C.
Option C. How are you saying this part should also be correct?
Sir, because before full stop, I am saying this because the word shouldn't end with full stop as well.
From this condition.
Yes. And opposite of this condition should be there. Q is equal to true and P is equal to false.
Yeah. Okay. So that is the answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other doubt in this one?
No, sir.
Anyone else? Any doubt in this one? Any graded assignment question or previous year question? Oh, sorry, practice assignment question. Okay, I think
Sir, I have
but
practice assignment question week 1, number 8. I'm having doubt.
assignment one question number
8.
two.
8.
The following pseudocode is executed using the words dataset. What will count represent at the end of the execution? So we are creating a file using file containing all the cards. Then we are initializing it and count to zero. If file is empty, so from here we are starting the iteration. Read the top card. If the word is Monday and A is equal to zero, there we are incrementing A. So A is incremented when if the
Is
word
it
is
Monday?
so word should be Monday and the value of A was zero. So if this is the case, then we are incrementing A. Otherwise, we are okay. The word ends with a full stop and A greater than zero, then increment count. Okay. If the word ends with a full stop, then reinitialize. A to 0. Move the card to the another. So what do you think? Is this correct? Option B.
Yes, sir. No, sir, one second. Sir, A is 0, so Monday, then increment count.
This one or this one? Option B or C? Which one is correct?
Sir, s- sir, I was actually confused between the two. That was my
Third
main.
one.
Someone else said something.
Third one.
Third one. Why?
Because we increment count when the sentence ends.
So here, if you check this part, we are incrementing A when this condition is satisfied, right? Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. And suppose if there is a sentence in which Monday was maybe more than once, twice, or three times, what will happen? Will A increase or not?
Yes, sir, A will increase.
A will not increase, right? We have this condition as well.
Oh,
So
and A is 0. I
yeah,
see.
for the first occurrence, we will change A to A plus 1. And for the next occurrences of Monday, A will have value not equal to 0. So we won't increase A. So A will either have value 0 or 1. Okay. Then in line 6, step 6, we are checking whether the value of A is greater than 0. Okay. And if that is the case, we are incrementing count. So this won't be true. Why? Because it is just saying only one, right? Or this one, and this one is saying at least one occurrence. So Monday can be there one time, two times, 100 times. That is. So option
And
C.
also A will be 1 only.
Yeah, A will always remain. We have added this condition, and because of that condition, this condition, A won't increment further.
So
Clear?
A will always be 0, or A will be either
It
1
will
or
have either one or two, Oh, sorry, either 0 or 1. 0 when there is no Monday in the sentence. 1 when there is Monday in the sentence. One occurrence is fine. Multiple occurrences are there.
Sir, so I'm having a doubt that exactly what is the difference between A and count? All the programs, all the pseudocodes I have seen A and count. So exactly what does A say and count say?
Like for this problem, the use of A and count are different. For other problems, they are different. In this case, A is basically trying to check whether Monday is there in the sentence or not. If it is there, the value of A will be 1. And if it is not there, the value of A will be 0. It is just like a flag.
A is
True.
basically like a flag mainly
Yeah, yeah. It is basically a flag. And we are
of
saying,
binary logic.
yeah, we are saying true when Monday is there. We are saying false when Monday is not there. And based on that flag, we are implementing count. Here.
Understood, understood, sir.
Okay. So let's move to the PYQ now. So this is from September term, quiz 1. The following pseudocode is executed using the words dataset. What will count represent at the end of the execution? So can anyone tell what will be the answer for this one? You have the
It
pseudocode
will
here.
represent the number of words which are not adjectives and have a letter count at least 3.
Okay, how are you figuring out that? How did you
So
come
by
to that
that
conclusion?
pseudo code which is written in means the line that if x dot part of speech is not adjective, then flag is true. And
Okay,
it is also written that if x dot letter count is greater than equal to means at least 3, then the flag will
okay,
be true. Then
okay.
if flag 1 and flag 2 are true, then the count will be equal to count plus 1. So by that, when the number of words having the part of speech not adjective and the letter count is at least 3, which are
Is
not
this clear?
adjective. Yes.
So can we move to next question, or anyone has
No,
any
so
doubt in this
next,
one?
next.
Okay, okay. For this one, what will be the answer? So we here we have
So it will be option C.
option D,
C.
C, option C. Okay, let's see. So these are valid conditions, and if we evaluate this, what will come? The whole thing. If we evaluate the whole thing, what will come? True or false?
True.
Why true?
True. Because 2 equals to 1.
1.
2.
This part is true,
True.
okay, and this part is false.
False.
But since true or false is
True
true,
or false is true only. It will be
so
true.
A is true.
Hmm.
So one of these three options. Now let's evaluate option. This part. So here we have 2 is equal to 2. This is assignment operation, which is incorrect. Correct?
No, no, it's an invalid expression.
Invalid expression. So
Hmm.
this one. So B should be now. These two are the candidates. Now we have 2 is equal to 3. What will this evaluate to?
False.
False. 3. C3.
So C is,
C3.
so
C
let,
number 3.
and D, if we check, D is integer plus string
Invalid.
addition.
So
Invalid?
it's
No, it's not
invalid.
possible.
Invalid.
Invalid. Okay.
Hmm.
And
Invalid.
what about E?
So it's
It's true.
So the internal part is false. 2 greater than 2 is false.
False.
And if
false
we
and
do
not of
not of
So
that,
not 2 greater than 2 is true.
yes.
okay,
Option C.
clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Let's move to the next question. Please zoom out. So we have a pseudocode, and we have to check what A will represent at the end of it. So go through the whole
Option
thing
A.
and tell me.
Oh, 1 second,
Option.
please.
Yeah, go ahead.
Option A, I think so. Because X dot author is equal to Y dot author and X dot year
Let's
is same as
let's
Y dot year.
others try. Just wait for
So,
1 or 2 minutes,
so
then we will discuss. Okay.
okay.
So this is the same type of question we did the first question, right? Where we
It's similar, but there we had just this part. This part is new.
okay. So yeah, it will be A.
Yes.
Sir,
Okay,
A.
how?
So first, if condition we are seeing if author is the one written that book and it is book is written in the same year, then we are doing B plus plus. So counting up the B, and in the next condition, if we are seeing that if the number of books published in the same year by the same author is bigger than A, which is 0, so then we are equalizing A and B. So that is why it is maximum number of book published by an author in a single year.
Okay. So this condition we are using to
Yes,
check
sir.
the maximum
The
number.
max. Yes.
Yeah, and this particular
Maximum.
condition we are checking for same author and same. Okay.
Same
So
year.
maximum number of books published by
Published by an
an
author and
author
single.
in a single year. Any doubt in this one?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, let's move to the next question then. Which of the following statements are correct? So, okay, so we have two pseudocodes
Sir,
and
could you scroll up, please?
to the previous question.
No, this only, question 4 only. Above
Yeah,
part was not visible.
I was checking the options, what we have to check. So in this one, we have two pseudocodes given, and in both the cases, we have to check what A and B are representing at the end of the execution. Okay.
Okay, so in the first one, if
So,
the letter is a noun, then it is representing A, and if letter is bigger than 4 and a noun, it is representing the B.
Okay. What about the pseudocode in second pseudocode? What are A and B?
second, irrespective of that x dot part of speech is noun and x dot letter count is greater than 4, the A is incrementing at
Okay. So
before
for
that move
every
5 to table 2. So B is same for both,
B is same for both and
but
A
A
is
will be
different.
different.
Okay. So in both
Yes, sir. A will be
pseudocode,
different because
Yes.
A is outside the if block in pseudocode 2.
okay. So this one,
Yes, sir.
The value of B will be same,
B
but
will be
the
same, but A
value.
will be different.
okay. So let's move to the next problem. Following pseudocode is executed using library dataset. Okay. So there is some problem in this particular pseudocode, and we have to identify the line. The
A.
following pseudocode is executed using the library dataset. At the end of the execution, A captures the number of books which are published in the same genre and in the same year, but in different languages. Okay, so this is the condition for A, and based on this condition, we have to evaluate this particular pseudocode and check whether there are any errors or not.
It doesn't have any mistake.
It doesn't have any mistake.
Yes, free of errors. No.
Okay, so we have to check whether the genre are same or not.
Same
So
and here is same.
Same.
When the
here is
language
same
is,
or not.
if the language is same, then it is updated to false.
Okay,
Firstly, it was true and then it was updated to false. So no error.
so no errors.
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, no. Any doubt in this one?
No,
Anyone?
sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Question number 6. We have a pseudocode and we have a variable count in this pseudocode. We have to tell what will count represent at the end of it. And we have a
Sir, hello.
yeah.
So I have a question in the previous question. I have a doubt.
Yeah.
So in the third if sentence, if the language is x dot language equals to y dot language, d equals to false.
Yeah.
So it's initialized as true and later incremented as false.
So
Yes, sir.
it was initialized as true, and we changed that value
Yes.
to false only
Yes, sir.
when
If
the
the language are same.
languages are same. And in the condition, it is saying that languages should be different.
Yes, sir. There should be a error, no?
So this is not an error. This is just the reverse of this statement, right?
Okay. Then if function says B, C, and D, it should check B, C, and D are true.
Yeah,
They
B,
should
C, and
check
D are true. When will D be true?
true
When
if they are
the
not equal.
languages will be
When the
different,
languages are different, D
different,
will be
then
true.
the D will be true. But it's saying that
Yes, sir.
languages are equal, then D will be true. So it is right.
Okay.
Is this clear? It's just the reverse
Yes,
of
sir.
this thing. Whatever we have written here, it's just the reverse of it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we have pseudocode again, and we have to tell what will count represent at the end of the execution.
Twice the number of students who have same marks. Total marks.
Twice the number
The
of students
so
who have
option D.
option D. Okay. So let's see. We have a procedure, and it is basically checking if the value of A is greater than B, then we are returning false. That is negative one. And if the value is equal to B or less than B, then we are saying okay. Okay, so this will represent this particular thing. Any doubt in this one?
Yes, sir. Sir, I cannot understand means the part that return -1 and return 1. What does it mean actually?
So if you see this whole thing, this is just like incrementing count, right? Or adding something to count. To add something to count, we need to return a number, right?
Hmm.
So that is why we are
Yes, sir.
returning -1 or 1. And based on that, we will just add like either 1 or -1 to count. Got it?
So how
Now
is
here,
it? Hmm.
what?
Sir, I was saying that how is that possible? Twice the number of pair of students who have same total marks.
Can you give me an example?
Okay. So try to go through some examples. And suppose we have x as 70. Okay. X dot total is 70 basically. And y dot total is 72. So for this question, we will have three conditions. What are the three conditions? I'm ignoring the total part. So x is equal to y. So we have x is equal to y. This is one condition. Then we have x greater than y. This is another condition. Then we have x less than y. Correct? Now, suppose we are evaluating this part. For this one, x is 70 and y is 72. That is this condition. We are evaluating this condition. Based on this, let's see what count will represent. We will do compare something 70, 72. And if we come here, what will be returned?
Return 1.
It will return 1.
Yeah.
Okay. It will return this part. Or sorry, this part will say x dot total, which is 70 and 72. We will pass it here. A has value 70, B has value 72. This condition is false. The whole thing will, the whole else block will be executed and 1 will be returned. So count will become what? C plus 1.
Count will
Okay.
become
C plus 1. Okay. So this whole thing is returning 1. So that is why I'm saying I'm not writing count fully. I'm just writing C. So C is same as count. Now here, in this case, we are passing 72 and 70. So if we do that, this part will be executed. Correct?
72 is 72 is in that case 72 is x and 70 is y.
Yeah.
No, sorry. Means A is 72 and B is 70.
Yeah. So this part will be executed.
Yeah.
Correct? So if we execute that part,
Yes, sir.
what will count become? C will become C minus 1. Right?
Yeah.
And if
C
we
minus 1.
place the value of initial count here, what will happen? Count is equal to count plus 1. So this will return 1. And if we do C minus 1, this will become 0. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for this condition, we are getting this particular thing. Okay, now let's try to evaluate this one. Okay, let's maybe say I'm just switching the variables here. Okay, now x is this thing and y is 7. If we execute this, what will happen? X is 72, y is 70. So this particular thing will get executed. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay.
It will return minus 1.
C will become
So
minus 1.
yes, 0 minus 1, 1 minus 1.
Okay, and then we will do this part. So y is smaller, y is 70 and x is 72. So this particular thing will evaluate this part, and because of that, at the end, we will have value plus 1,
0.
0. So in both the cases, for this one and this one, the value of C is 0, right? After evaluating these conditions, the value of C came to be 0. Now let's try to do this one. For this one, does anyone have any doubt?
Yes, sir. Once show the example of x is equal to y.
Yeah, I'm doing that. So if x is equal to y, suppose both have the value 70. Okay, Will this part execute? I'm evaluating this part first. Okay, first one. Will this part execute or not?
Not No,
Will
sir.
this? No. Okay. So this part will be executed.
Yeah.
So we will have what? C is equal to 1 for this part.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes.
Then this part will be executed. And for this part, again, this thing will get executed. And we will do C is equal to,
+1.
okay?
Oh, yes, sir.
So for this case only, we are getting C is equal to 2. For all the other cases, we are getting C is equal to 0. So now is this correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Option D is correct for this one. Any doubt?
No, sir.
Let's move to next problem. The following pseudocode is executed on the library dataset. At the end of the execution, count represents the number of books that have different genres but are written by the same author. Select the correct pseudocode for procedure verify this. So here we are having a procedure, and we have to basically check all the options and tell which procedure is correct. So this is an MCQ, so one of the answers are correct. Is the question clear?
A
What
is
count will
incorrect.
represent? Okay, A is
Yes.
incorrect. So count is basically representing the number of book pairs that have different genres
Count will
but are
represent the
written by
number of book
same author.
pairs that have different genres, but
But the authors are same.
are written by the same authors.
Yeah, so this part, why is this incorrect?
So option
Because
A will be
Sir, what is there?
Or is there? We
because
have to
or
check.
operation.
Yeah, so we need and operator. The conditions are correct. This part and this part are correct, but since the operator is odd, this whole option is incorrect. What about this one? Option B?
this is also false because same genre.
Yeah. So the conditions are switched. So this is also incorrect. What about this option?
This is true.
So option C looks correct.
True.
What about option D?
Incorrect.
Uh,
Option D is incorrect. So C is the correct answer. Okay. Any doubt in this one?
no, sir.
Okay. Now we have another question. The following pseudocode is executed using this course dataset. What will A represent at the end of the execution? Okay, no hint for this one. Tell the answer and yeah. Then we will move to the next question. This is very simple because
Option A.
option A, number of students having the same marks in all the three subjects. If physics marks is less than mathematics marks, it is false. Mathematics marks is less than chemistry marks, it is false. And if X dot chemistry marks is less than physics marks, then again B is false. And we are incrementing A only when B is true. Option A. Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Just to give a hint, here we are evaluating each of the pairs and checking whether one value is less than the other value or not. If it is, then we are changing the value of switching the value of. And if it is not the case for all the three if conditions, then the value of b will be the same, and then we are implementing it. I hope this is clear. Okay. Now we have this one is an MSQ, so we may have multiple correct options. The following pseudocode is executed using the scores dataset, and uh, we have to check what count one and count two are representing. So, what is count one representing?
One represent number of male
Option
students whose mathematics marks is greater than physics marks.
The number of male students whose mathematics marks is greater than physics marks. Is that what you are saying? Here we have an OR condition. OR operator is there. So either this or this. Okay. So we will take all the male students. For all the male students, count one will increase. And we are also appending the female student for this for whom this condition is getting satisfied. So all the male students plus all the female students satisfying this condition. Okay. Now for count two, what is count two? What is count two? What is count two representing?
Count 2 represents the if X
Number
dot
T.
is female
T.
and uh, X dot maths is less than equal to X dot physics, or X dot physics is greater than equal, and X dot physics is greater than X dot physics.
Okay, so the gender should be female and the mathematics mark should be smaller than equal to
Less than
physics
equal
mark.
to the physics marks. Yes.
Yeah. So count one, this is not correct because it is not saying anything about the female student. What about this one? Represent male students or students whose mathematics marks is greater than physics, but not both. This is incorrect, right?
this is correct,
Yes, and
How? Incorrect. Read this part.
but both. Okay.
But not both. Means if the gender is male and the mark for marks of mathematics is greater than physics, we will skip that person. That is not true, right?
What's
yes, and
What about option C? Count to represent the number of female students whose mathematics marks is greater than physics marks.
no, sir, it won't be correct.
It is also incorrect
Yes,
because
sir.
it is just saying this part. Okay. And this is
Yes, so
the
this
one
would be
which
correct.
is the correct. Need out in this
And
one?
no,
Okay. So let's move to the next question. Based on the Based on the library dataset, the procedure by genre A returns to the author A has written a more number of fiction than non-fictional books. Assume that the dataset has only two possible genres. Choose the correct pseudocode for procedure. So Let's evaluate each of the options one by one. Is the problem clear? What we have to do in this problem?
Yes.
So basically, we have to check whether author A
Right.
has written more number of fiction books or not. Is this correct or incorrect? Option A.
Right. Then
Incorrect.
yes.
Incorrect. Why?
As it's
Because
checking in the
that
condition
non
that if X dot author is A and X dot genre is non-fiction, then the count is incremented, and else if X dot author is A, then count will not be true
Okay.
because it would be true if
count
the
less
number
than
of
0.
fiction books was greater than the non-fiction, and here it is incremented plus one in the non-fiction also.
Okay. What about this one?
So it would be true.
Okay. This one is true.
Yes.
Okay. What about this one?
False.
So it won't be true.
Why? Because
So
this
because
part
in
is
that
missing.
that if X dot author is A is missing,
Yeah.
because it can take any of the conditions.
Right. What about the last one?
No, sir. As it
This is
is
also
saying that count is exactly equal to zero, as it won't be true.
yeah. So option B is correct, and all
Yes,
the
sir.
other options are
Hmm.
incorrect. Any doubt in this one? Anyone?
No, sir.
For option C once more, can you show just one thing I want to see?
So if you see option B and option C, so check this part. In B, we are checking whether X dot author is A or no. Okay, this is A, and here we are not doing that. So we are decrementing count for all the authors. No matter which author we are picking, we are decrementing.
Understood.
That shouldn't be the case, right?
Yeah. Only for the author, only there should be the case. Understood, sir.
Yeah. Question number 11. Uh, we have a variable A. A is set to true if there exists a pair of words with same part of speech and different letter count. Okay, so we have to fill some code here in this part, and that code should basically made some changes in A, and we should get this kind of behavior from that. The part of his speech should be same. In that case, A will be incremented, and the letter count should be deep.
Sir, here it will be B is correct. Same part of speech and different letter count.
Option B. Okay. This is an MSQ, so we
MSQ.
may
So,
have multiple.
so we may.
Correct.
So C is also correct.
C is also correct. Okay.
B is
Yes,
also
sir.
correct.
What about B?
So no, so
False. False.
Okay, so B and C, right?
yes,
Yes, sir.
This is clear, right?
yes, sir.
Okay. Let's move to, I think this is the last question. Yeah, it is the last question. The following pseudocode is executed using a dataset similar to the words dataset based on the following paragraph. Surrounded by nature, Susan often takes a stroll, savoring the soothing sounds of sleeping birds. So this is the sentence, and here we are doing some. Here is a pseudocode basically, and assume the uppercase and lowercase are ignored during comparison of letters. What will be the value of count? We have to tell the exact value of count. Okay, this is NAT, so you have to put some number. So what will count represent at the end of the execution? So here we have a procedure, and this is a procedure basically. Yeah. So I is 1 and B is equal to 0. So these are the initialized values. And we are saying if I less than equal to Y dot letter count, this is just to terminate the loop. This condition will terminate the loop. If the ith letter of Y dot word is a vowel, we are incrementing B. And this is just to proceed to the next letter. And we are returning B. So this part is basically doing what? This procedure is what doing what?
Yes, counting the number of vowels
Vowels in a word.
yes,
Okay.
in a word.
Checking the vowels.
And
If a
we
letter is
need to check if
vowel,
the count to
then we
vowels is greater than equal to 3.
Okay. So all the we are using
We
this
need to
data
check
set.
in the
Yeah. So we have to check all for how many words the number of vowels is greater than equal
greater
to
than
3.
equal to 3.
sir,
So
surrounded number one,
Yes, it has.
surrounded is
Nature
1.
also.
Nature
nature,
also. Then
Savoring and soothing.
savoring
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 and
is there.
soothing.
means soothing.
Soothing is also there. Any other word?
Yes, no,
No, sir.
only
4.
4.
Okay.
Yes.
Sir, excuse me, sir. Here exactly what is B? B
What
is
is
count.
B? B.
Huh.
Yeah, B is
Yes, sir.
basically like if you see what after executing this whole thing. So Y is what first? Y is one of the word. Okay, we are passing one of the word. We are iterating
Yes, sir.
over
Why I
the.
know? Why I know actually means I was only I had doubt about B.
So B is incremented when the letter count is when
Oh,
the letter is a vowel,
11 letter is vowel.
right? So then we are incrementing B. So at the end of executing this whole while loop, what will be represent? It will represent the number of vowels in Y.
So the number of vowels in a word is
Yeah,
B.
in a word. Clear?
Sir,
Okay.
in a word
Yes,
or
sir.
number of words with vowels?
The number of vowels in a word.
Okay,
Y
sir.
is a word, okay? And here we are checking if the ith letter is a vowel or not. If it is, then we are incrementing B. So at the end, B will represent the number of vowels in the word. Okay? I hope this is clear. And that's pretty much it for the session. If you have any further doubts, you can ask. If not, I'll close the session.
Sir, how will be the difficulty level of the FCT? Quiz one.
It will be similar to your practice and graded assignment. The difficulty level will be same. And this is the like September term question paper, quiz one. It's like most of you are able to solve it, right? So it would be same thing,
Sir,
right? The
excuse me.
difficulty level will
Once
be
could
same.
you show the 12th one once? Can you show?
Yeah. Do you have any doubt in this one?
No, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks for your input.
Yeah, sure.
Sir, excuse me. Sir, I had one doubt. May I ask?
Yeah, of course.
Sir, in CT, mostly the questions will be like PYQs or mostly like the practice and grade assignments.
So the questions will be similar to both your PYQs and your practice assignment and graded assignment, right? So in practice assignment and graded assignment, there are some questions which require you to check the data, right? Words data or
Yes,
shopping list
but
data.
I
So
think so that
those,
won't be there.
yeah, those type of questions won't be there.
Yes,
You don't
as
need to
that
have the,
only template will be given and not
yeah,
the whole data
you
set.
just need to remember the format of the data, like what was there in shopping bills and other things. So that you need to remember. That's it.
Okay, sir. Sir, means I was asking that mostly what to practice more. Means now what I
Both,
should revise more, PYQs or
both,
assignment.
both things.
Okay, sir. And at least how many PYQs to practice?
You can do like two or three. That should be sufficient.
Okay, 2 and 3 of the same year. Suppose I have done
No, not same
September
year.
2025, different year.
Same term, you mean, right?
Like
Not same term. So we solved like this PYQ was from September 2025 term. You can maybe
yeah.
do May 2025 and then Jan 2025. That will be perfect.
Okay, sir.
Any other doubt? Okay, I think there are no more doubts. So I'm
No
closing the
doubts, sir.
session. Yeah. Thank you for joining.
Yes.